Here is a random late night long form video for those of you up at night and wanting to watch something. Use the FootLogic spray again. I have to soak it for 5 minutes, so 5 minutes later. You know, I try to really do these videos well and edit them all up and have a lot to say. But it occurred to me today that I can just post whatever I want. I could post 5 hand shaving videos in a row at different speeds with different types of commentary, and I didn't really let myself out of that box before. So here we go. This hand shave went really well. I'm only going to show you part of it here because it's not sped up at all, and the whole hand shave actually takes about an hour. With the FootLogic spray, I should amend that. It now only takes me half an hour to 45 minutes. So really helps with the time. Also helps with how smoothly I can cut it off instead of struggling a little bit more. I will say, though, I'm still learning. I have nicked myself more in the last couple of hand shaves than I have, in years of hand shaving. I think that I'm just still getting used to how soft the skin is, how much easier it is to peel. But also, it's not that I'm not used to it. It's that I have to be more conscientious. This hand shaving, which I didn't even realize until I started filming it and talking about it, is deeply in my brain as muscle memory. I could shave my hands with my eyes closed. It's very muscle memory. And some of that muscle memory is a little wrong. I can't push quite as hard, and I can't be so aggressive with the shaver because with the callus softener, it's just a lot softer, and there's a lot more chance that I'm going to go too deep. So I'm kind of having to relearn how I do this. But I appreciate the experience because it is so much easier. You know, this seems so normal to me. You know how when you see something you've never seen before, your brain is a little shocked? I don't experience any of that watching this video back. This is just so normal to me. It's so boring. It's watching yourself butter toast or something. Whatever you do normally. Watching yourself tie your shoes. It just doesn't feel like anything. But I know a lot of people stumble on these videos and just go whoa, oh my God, what is that? That's so weird. Just captivates your whole brain. Seeing, a national park for the first time or something that's just huge and awe-inspiring and different, and it takes a hold of your brain for a second. I'm just giggling to myself because this is so boring and normal to me. Or maybe I won't say boring, but it's not new. It's pretty routine. That looks pretty good. It's always a challenge to hold my hand at the right angle for the camera with the lighting. I think the lighting in my bathroom is pretty good. You can see everything that's going on, and the color's pretty true. I do have a rather yellow, orange, brown countertop, which is not something I love, but I can't afford to remodel my bathroom right now, so here we are. But I do think I probably need to get a light for behind me. I have a ring light, but when I set it up before, it cast so much shadow from the shaver that it was actually kind of jarring to see it that way. So I feel I don't know, maybe I need to set the ring light up farther back or at a different angle, one that I didn't try. I don't know. or maybe I need 2 ring lights. I'm not like a master of studio lighting, but in my early 20s, I was like really obsessed with photography. And so I do know a lot about like lighting a scene and framing a shot and all that. And I know I'm not doing my best work here. I'm just using the bathroom lights that are on the wall, and it's good enough, but it's not the best. Do you ever think about that? Are you into photography at all? I'm always thinking about framing shots and getting the lighting just right and all that. I was really having a challenge getting this spot on my hand today, and I don't know why. Normally it's not that hard, but just something about like the softness of the callus or the sharpness of the blade or like the angle I was cutting, just something. I was like trying to get all these different angles to try and get it. And I finally just gave up. Like, it's good enough. It's good enough. But it's not as thin as I normally would take it down there. Trying to get it again. Gave up again, I guess. The astute observer will notice that the nail polish on a couple of my fingernails is not sparkly. When I was working on the chicken coop, I like chipped a couple of my nails and the sparkle layer just peeled right off. I guess I didn't like buff or scratch up the clear polish underneath that I kind of use like a mild builder gel before I put on the color. And so when nicked a little bit, it just like popped right off. And it's like time to do my nails again, so I just haven't done anything about it. Also wondering to myself, should I take off my watch before I do this? I don't feel like it's necessary, but my wrist like wrinkles way up underneath my palm next to the watch when I'm trying to hold it at this angle for the camera to see. I guess, that's something that I think about because I've seen these videos a bunch of times and I like have to watch them multiple times to edit them and produce them and all that. But to the casual viewer, I wonder if anybody's noticing or paying attention. Of course, now I've brought attention to it, so you're welcome. I was being so careful here. I am so sick of nicking my fingertips using the callus softener and the shaver. It didn't used to be a problem for me, at least not recently. But since using the callus softener, I've had to really focus. And you can see what I decided to do this time was I'm applying like 0 pressure. And I do that on the edge of my hands, but I never used to have to do that on my fingertips. But now I'm not even pushing the blade down at all. Right here I am. But when I come to the fingertip here, I'm like just floating it over the top of my finger. Like I'm barely taking anything off. You can see there's almost no skin piling up in the head of the shaver. Like just these teeny little cuts at the lightest pressure because I don't want a cut. It actually worked great. This thumb I did really well and I didn't hurt myself. So like I'm kind of going by visual cues, like you can see the spot right there that still needs to be shaved. But like mostly I'm going by feeling. I can feel it. And it feels great when I do it right. I can also feel it when I do it wrong and cut myself, and that hurts. But I did explain in a previous video that like a lot of the times when I nick myself, I didn't even realize I did it. Because the cut is such a fine line between like just the right thinness or too thin that sometimes I can't tell, especially if it's not my fingertip, if it's not a very sensitive spot of my hand. I have to say though, I'm giving myself a pat on the back right now. I did a really great job with this thumb. I am very likely to cut myself on the edge there and I didn't. Looking good. I'm going to even it out just like a tiny bit more. And that's it. I don't even know if I'm going to show you guys the fingers, but if I do, that will be the next video or two. Good night.